Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to our Battletech Advanced 3062 Irby Derby campaign. Today we're going in for a recovery type mission, which I don't think I've done in a little while here, and basic gist is, well, some unlucky fellow has been captured, and it's our job to get him back to his rightful employers, which in our case would be, I believe, the word of Blake. So we're working for the Wobbies quite often in this campaign, and yeah, it's not ideal. I mean, they are kind of villains who nearly destroy the entire galaxy, but, you know, then again, so am I. So I think that's probably fine. uh, I don't know, I enjoy it. I want to get at their faction store, which I don't think I've actually done ever yet. I think that'd be a good time. And, well, they're offering good paying missions. This one we're taking for salvage. It is a 4 skull mission, but the payout in C-bills was relatively light, which it's not an ironclad indicator, you won't see anything tough, but it is certainly an indication that, well, maybe it won't be the hardest mission that you could ever fight at that same skull rating, so there is some flexibility in ratings, and we will certainly, well, I think anyway, see that in play here. So we do have enemies on visual, and that's 160-tonner, 165-tonner. Yeah, I mean, that's no pushover, right? Like, it's not like we're fighting 2 light mechs on a 4-skull mission. It's just a statement of, well, there's lower odds. You'll see, say, 3 or 4 different enemy lances, and you have to chew through all of them. So, we're in a bit of an odd situation because, again, I don't pack jump jets on many mechs, at least not without getting some better technology so that I have better free tonnage to fit in said jump jets. We have to go the long way around, and going the long way around is, well, rather inconvenient for getting our biggest guns online quickly. And you can see that with the Marauder, but also with the Wolverine, who, while faster than the Marauder, still is going to have a bit of trouble catching up to the rest of the pack. Our Marauder most likely won't be of use until after we've secured the target zone, and, well, it turns into a little bit of a base defense type thing there. It's like, don't get your bunker busted or you'll have a bad day type deal. Now, I could have potentially gotten vision on him, I could have potentially taken a couple of shots. The reason I didn't prioritize that too heavily is because odds are we're going to have really, really poor accuracy on that mech anyway. Don't have visual established until the previous turn, well, until that turn, and, well, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, this looks like, oh wow, okay, Marauder 5M would be nice to pick up. Ostrok, I have one, I didn't like it when I got that one, but, you know, this is probably the best shot that we have right now, no evasion on the Ostrok 2C. So let's go ahead and take it, and we land those Streak SRM-4s. That's a good start. The battle armors I think we're just going to keep on top of our transport mechs until we're down into the target zone. So, just a little bit of a delay there, I suppose. And, let's see. I want to take advantage of the no evasion. I should have shot in last time. I was wrong to have not done so. But hey, live and learn, and reevaluate. Sometimes when you drop in on mechs like this, they have 6, 7, 8 evasion pulls. You're moving up to you, so it's really not worth the hassle. But, you know, sometimes it definitely would have been. In this case, the Ostrok is definitely the easier target, especially because we did pound into his CT, it looks like, on the previous turn, but we have better accuracy on the Marauder, and this loadout is way more deadly. The double large pulse, double medium pulse, LBX AC-10. Very frightening, so we're going to switch to Slug on the LBX AC-10 and fire away. The difference in accuracy there just comes from range brackets, because our laser weaponry was a little bit more extreme range, while our LBX AC-10 naturally has a, well, longer range bracket to take advantage of. So, no real good shots there, and we would be getting in a bit of a line. I'm tempted to come up and around on the left side here with Dervish, and, well, the SRMs will take a little while. No, that was probably a mistake. I need a light support mech back there. But that's not something that I have available to me at the moment outside of the Wolverine. So we will be looking at getting some artillery soon, a good addition. Let's go ahead and just skip to a long tom. So there are multiple levels of artillery, I guess you could call them. Damage output, tonnage, heat, things like that. And arrow 4s as well as long toms missile and ballistic type artillery, respectively, are sort of the natural kings of the hill. So, this late in the campaign, I could probably afford to put a long time on something, and that wouldn't be the worst idea. However, those mechs usually don't end up being that useful for anything other than the artillery piece, just because it takes up so much weight, so much heat as well if you're firing AO4s, that, well, I don't always put them in early on because, frankly, you can end up with a relatively ineffective mech before your pilots are ready to support the indirect fire needed to make those things effective, which doesn't come until the later levels on tactics, for example. So if you have a low tactics, pilot trying to shoot artillery, it's not going to work out that well for you. Okay, so we have Edmund still able to move on 6. We have the Ostrach moving on 5, both theirs and ours. So let's go ahead and let them go. We got in what shooting we could. Phalanx battle armor takes an absolute pounding there. Large laser right to dome piece. That's going to be an issue. Putting him in the hospital more than likely. If we take a look, yeah, that's 6 armor left, only 5 internal structure on each one of these. So if that hit location, I guess, if that mech takes another hit, we will almost certainly take some losses because of it. So let's move up the Ostrach now. Not the best firing solution here. We can give it a shot because we're not building any heat. We might win one. Yeah, actually we win 2. Not too bad. And we're just kind of plinking away at them for right now. So we'll build up damage as time goes on. Marauder is my... oh jeez. Oh no, 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 no. Okay. Well, there goes the battle armor. This is not looking good for him because... yeah, well, that's gonna be a long time in Mech Bay. Oh well, on the next turn we can pop this damage resistance perk, and that should at least save us some pain here. But if they keep piling on, I think it's just those pulse lasers on it. Oh jeez, very effective at ignoring the evasion, what little evasion Phalanx battle armor has, which is now apparently making up for the size delta as well. So that Thunderbolt is a very heavily frontal armored mech. Love to get my hands on it, but we're going to exploit its weakness. We're going to pop around its rear end and try and take it out with the Irvian Lamb. Once again, our quintessential flanking mech here going to work. See what we can do. 30, 75. So there's not that much armor, but there is a lot of internal structure. It'll probably take us several shots. Let's see if we can make our way through it. And yeah, so we do get structure exposed, heatsink destroyed, but we're not ripping off pieces yet, which is what we need to do. And yeah, that's a lot of work left to do on there. Oh no, don't kill him. Okay. I'm so scared for these guys. Alright, how can I protect them better? Can we get... okay, we can get enough movement to get around behind the building, and that's the best we're going to get with these guys. Bobsled has outlived his usefulness, I think, in this one, and we're just going to pop shielded stance and try to keep them from dying. So, the other thing we can do is come around here with Chancellor, and we should probably do shielded stance there as well, but, hold on, I have to sneeze. Oh. Sorry about that. Okay, so we could do a shielded stance, but I want the precision strike to try to really chew through this Marauder, get some damage. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a good smattering of damage. Nothing too crazy. But, yeah, these guys can dish out a lot, so we'll just make use of it while we can, and it's the best thing to do here. I want another rear angle shot. That's a little risky, doesn't give me the best accuracy. I think I'd probably be better off going after something else. Not that Ostrach. No, I mean paper thin armor, but I'm not going to be getting kills. You know what we could do is we could come down here and hit the Marauder, but I think I'm just going to wait and let them move, because if the Thunderbolt moves, then I might be able to get some evasion and still take a shot there. That isn't completely horrible. So with that said, what's moving on 5 with them? That's their Ostrach. Let's get our Centurion around, or... Okay, I can bring the Dervish forward. Yes, this is the answer. We're going to put those SRMs on target there. So, precision strike, target shot, torso. That's a dead mark. So he had an XL engine in there, which probably should have expected. 2 large lasers in the LBX. 4 salvageable parts. We might be able to build that for ourselves, although, you know, we did kind of just prove how fragile that build is. There are definitely worse things that we can field. We do have an atlas we picked up from the last mission, at least most of it. It turns out I had a piece in inventory that I was able to use to round that out pretty well. So let's take a shot at this Ostrach double ER large. And the other arms to follow up. Let's see if I can seek. Yes, left arm destroyed. Not the most damage ever, but I'll take it. Okay, so we're going to go into the target zone. This will start that pickup. It might drop enemy reinforcements, it might not. There's really no way of knowing at the moment. Okay, area lost on signal. Hold here with the VIP coming in. We will. And give me that shot. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, so really chewing through his legs pretty well. Next turn we'll be able to bring the binary lasers online from Marauder 3R, which is just a little lagging behind the group. That's okay. And who do we have left? We have, okay, you and... Right, so precision strike slowed the Ostrach down, which means that now we have our own Ostrach able to move up and hopefully use that coil to really chew through this guy's damaged side armor. So we will precision strike here as well. And turn on the coil. Yeah, turn off the medium lasers. Okay, this is a little hot, but we're gonna do it. So we'll cook a little bit. There's no risk of an ammunition explosion because we don't have ammunition on the mech. So the only worry is a mech shutdown, which is low odds at that level of heat. Yeah, okay, ripped through the side torso. Dealt some damage into the CT by the look of it, but not enough to kill. And I think what we're going to do is, that does settle it, we are going to capitalize on that, hopefully, and maybe even kill this Ostrach to get good clustering from the streak SRMs. So, let's open up. Ah, none of the streaks fired, and we needed that. We definitely needed that. I mean, we'll be fine, but in order to have a chance at killing Ostrach, we would have needed the streak SRM4s. I should do a bit of an upgrade to the Urbi Lamb. I had double heat sinks on there and ripped them off to make other mechs more effective, but I should be able to afford putting those back on, and that'll make us a little bit less toasty in that Urbi Lamb, which would be a good thing, I think. Dervish drawing some fire, thankfully not nearly as much damage as we took the first round through, so hopefully we'll only have one pilot in the mech bay, sorry, one pilot in the sick bay after this. I wonder. This is the Ostrach. I don't know if they are going to drop reinforcements. I suppose we'll find out once this Ostrach is done moving, though. And let's see what we got.
We have the asset, Commander.
Okay. All we have to do is get to evac, which is up there, but that's for all 8 mechs, and I want these guys in pieces. So instead of running, let's try and finish these guys off. I know you guys have never really seen me run before, but I have done it, and I remember this one time I was doing it, it was an Arctic mission, and it was a recovery just like this one, and I started getting hit by artillery mechs, left, right, and center, and I just ran. I was limping my way to the evac zone, trying to not get absolutely smashed. Ended up, I think, nearly losing a Marauder. Lost one pilot, and I think it was a Wolverine, actually. Might have been a Wolverine. Thunderbolt ended up in mech bay as well, just complete disaster of a mission. So it does happen sometimes. You know, it's one of those things you like to avoid, but sometimes the evac zone is there for a reason, and that reason is completely necessary. Now, I think we might actually finish these guys off before even being able to fire with the Marauder. A little bit of a detriment there to... Oh, okay. I'm not taking that shot because we'll ping the back of our own Centurion pretty hard. But if we at least launch the LRMs, we might still hit the Centurion. No, actually, that was pretty nice. Higher accuracy and lower damage per friendly fire. Those are the criteria there. Centurion, what I should have done before this, we're going to move around to the rear arc of this guillotine, keep the LBX on the slug. If we miss, a 90% chance to hit the slug. No, that's okay. We're getting our way through here. So, making our way downtown, walking fast, and homebound. Great, great song. Not really here. I like it. Okay, so we can open fire at the guillotine. We are doing some damage to this guy. Let's see what we do. Yeah, and this is why I went for the rear arc. There's not a lot of hope of really chewing through that frontal armor. It's pretty heavily armored back for what the AI tends to field, which is good. I mean, it's more effective that way than what we're used to fighting. So let's get on the run with the Awestruck. We won't be able to keep the coil on this time because, yeah, I mean, oh, you know what? Heck with it, let's fire. Oh yeah. Oh, just slowly cooking that a little bit more as well, but we ripped off an arm somehow.
The asset is under fire.
I know, I need to keep this Centurion alive. It's alright. He took a little bit of ping damage from the Thunderbolt. We decided, I guess he's got an ace power. Yeah. Still. That's going to be very rough for that Thunderbolt very soon. If we had landed the coil into that damaged rear armor, that would have been pretty phenomenal. But sometimes it doesn't quite work. Pretty decent return fire from the guillotine. It's a no nonsense heavy mech for sure. And we can go ahead and get all of our mechs in action here. The Awestruck with my 5. Okay. Irby Lamb's gonna get a little closer. And can you finish this guy off, please? Or will this not be quite possible? So let's turn off on the VR smalls. Everything we've got. And that's a dead Thunderbolt. How many pieces? 5. Ooh. We're going to have our choices. Just lots of them ahead of us for salvage. And I'm not really sure what I'll pick, so we'll take the Phalanx Battle Armor. If I'd had more SRM ammunition, this would have been pretty devastating. But as it is, we do have the quad King David Gauss rifles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they just got revenge for their brethren and took out a guillotine. 5 salvageable parts as well. This is beautiful.
Successful.
Okay, so 48,000 C-bills is the price we pay for excellent salvage picks. We're making our way up toward Allied with Wobbies. And if we take a look, the guillotine, it's a 4P. Yeah, I'm not sure I love that. The 5M Marauder would be wonderful. We only have 4 parts here, as opposed to, I mean, I know we can only pick 4, but we might be able to get an entire Thunderbolt for that, get lucky with that last one. And the SE is not the best model ever, but it's certainly a wonderful chassis, and we can do a lot with it. Let's see, double heat sinks I have a lot of. Fingers crossed we pick up that last Thunderbolt part. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a Thunderbolt. Alright, beautiful. I love it. Thank you guys for hanging around. We'll see you again real soon.